What's up, brothers and sisters? Holy bloodbath in the stock market. Hold your horses. Things got really nasty on Friday. Let's take a look at the stock market bloodbath that was Friday and what is happening and see if we can make some sense out of this action and, of course, what the heck we're going to play in this coming week, because this is pretty nasty, right? Like, Friday, there was a couple things happening, and we saw some signs in the last couple days of maybe a little bit of sell-off in certain names, but Friday kind of came as a surprise. So first of all, we had some news out from China. They got some new, that's my son on the ground. They got some new strand of COVID, and that came in. It's probably a nothing burger. But how the market works lately is that, these algos and the buy-sell programs, once they kick in, the selling begets more selling, or vice versa. When the buying kicks in, the buying begets more buying. And so we have pretty much an all-day long sell program in the market. You could see here, we faded the gap. We had like a momentarily bounce here, and then it was just nonstop selling, right? And then once we broke the previous day's lows, holy crap. It was downtown Julie Brown the whole day. And we had weakness across the board in pretty much every single name possible, right? And, a couple days ago, we saw some signs, right? Like Palantir took a kick to the nuts, right? A couple days before, right? And Google and, all of these kind of names have been a little bit weak. So the market is in a precarious spot here. We're at the 50-day moving average almost. We'll probably get a little gap up tomorrow, and it'll be in no man's land. If we gap up tomorrow, right, we won't be at breakout, we won't be at support, and so we're in no man's land. We're in the back seat of your buddy's Volkswagen. You're not right nut, you ain't left nut, you're penis in between us, right? And that's the worst spot to be in. So we need more time now to figure out what's happening. But there are some weird signs going on. Number one, the leaders are getting shot, right? Palantir, shot. Microsoft, look at this thing, right? It looks like a giant bear flag. Flat bottom breakdown, right? Google, shot, right? Bear flags. So we have really nowhere to hide, right? Amazon, right? Also big rollover. So you have like these kind of things that are happening here, and we're not necessarily oversold enough where like there's like this epic bounce scenario either, right? Yet. Like we're at just 54 stochastics. We need still some time. So we have to be cautious tomorrow. My guess is that China thing was probably a one-off thing. But the big hairy Indian butt is that there's other cross currents that have been happening in the market for a little bit of time that maybe are coming into fruition. That will have to, just be a little bit mindful of, right? Like we got to be a little bit careful now. Look, coin, right? Nasty action in the cryptos, right? Microsoft coin, anything you can put your hands on, it's going. And then like, you have like your kind of high flyers, right? Like your Oklos and NNEs, and these all rolled over. And then the other troubling part, I think for me personally, is that you have like these earnings plays, right? That were like stocks that beat on earnings that probably should have held up, and they got shot down, right? So like a firm got shot down. Now look, a lot of these are down a lot. So, we're probably getting close to a bounce at some point on them, but these are not the kind of pullbacks that you want to see, right? You want more orderly. See this, like UPST had like this awesome earnings breakout. Hey, about you. And then, right, you've ripped down 25 points from here and faded the whole gap, right? Like, dude, APP, right? Love this company, right? This was the hot name, but it faded its earnings gap, right? And now you're back into kind of the bone zone and stuff like that. But, if this thing keeps continuing, then the chart itself, at least the primary structure of its trend is, going to be different. So you got to be a little bit just real careful, right? Look at that, Bros, right? Like beautiful earnings breakout, and then now it's failing its all-time highs. You don't want to see the failure of all-time highs. TEM, break out to all-time highs, failure of that all-time highs. once again, you don't want to see, you know, you don't want to see all that, right? Like that's not good. You know, even something like an NBIS, which had like an awesome reversal on its earnings day, right? You can see here, this is the earnings day on Thursday. Awesome reversal on its earnings, gap down. Man, so bullish that action that particular day. And then, look at this thing. It gapped down on the earnings. It completely reversed at the $48. I mean, that's $10 reversal. But then, like, it just gave it back up. So, you know, I think the moral of the story is for us is to be cautious, right? I don't know what's going to happen. My crystal ball is not flickering properly. So, if we gap up tomorrow, which we very well may, what happens, right? Do we follow through? Do we take out the opening ranges? Now we're going to have lots of levels of resistance on top, so we'll have to be careful. On the SPY, similar, we're just opening right at the 50-day moving average, but we're still pretty far off the January lows, right? So we have some room to maybe fall. You know, we'll have to see what's going on. The IWM is just, you know, I mean, down 3%, back to the 200-day moving average, where it does like to hold. Hey, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, I know. You know, the IWM down here is a little bit just testing the 200-day moving average for the God knows how many times. So I think the plan for tomorrow, we want to be in just the most liquid names possible, right? So, you know, Apple's holding up here, but really a boring trader, right? You know, Meta's rolling over. So if we need some shorts, like this has still got room to fall. So we can look at something like this. I think that's probably the one if we need to take something down. Microsoft, bear flag here, right? This is your weekly chart. This is your daily chart. You got a flat bottom breakdown. There was some news out on Microsoft. Hi, buddy. I love you. I love you. So, Microsoft, you know, you lose this 405. I mean, you're coming down, right? If you got Netflix, probably not much there. Google's got a bear flag, right? So I think that's something, if we get a small gap up, we can fade this thing. Beautiful bear flag right there. The one that I'm interested on the potential long side is actually Amazon. You know, you're in a rubber band setup. You're below the lower Bollinger Band. If it gaps down tomorrow, and you're at an interesting spot on the weekly, if it gaps down tomorrow, I think that triggers a rubber band. I want to see like maybe 210 or something to try to flip this thing long. But it is on a big support spot here. And I want to see that undercut and then it kind of break back over. So out of the longs, that's my play. And I will do the Friday weeklies on it. Look at this. AMD's a bear flag here. Right? You got just a trend down, trend down, trend down. Right? And you're breaking this trend line here. Right? Back down she goes. AVGO's kind of been dusted. NVIDIA's in no man's land. MU's in no man's land. And then Tesla's a bear flag too, right? So if this, first of all, the trend is down on this now, right? Trend. And you got to pull back into the bone zone. If it breaks this 330, hello. Breaks this 330, hi. If it breaks this 330, then you got a lot of weakness. So my thinking is Google, Microsoft, Tesla for shorts, right? And those are the easy ones. Possibly Meta. And then, you know, on the long side, if we get a big spike down, then Amazon is at the best spot for a potential rubber band long. Hi, buddy. I know. We'll go play soon enough. Otherwise, I'm just sticking with, like, really, really simple setups. And I want more blood. So what I mean by more blood is, like, if I'm going to try to bounce some of these like more mid-cap names, I want the hood at the 50-day moving average, right? I want Oklo at the 50-day moving average, right? Like I want more pull, right? To try to get long some of these, like more, the speculative names need more pull. You know, the big caps, I think Amazon's ready, and then we got bear flags and Microsoft, Google, right? And Tesla. And that's the list. I don't think you need too much more. We'll use some options if we need to shred, but I'd stay away from like all the kind of specky names right now because we just don't know what's going on. You know, MSTR's got a nice bear flag here if you need a short on the cryptos. Tough trader, but you know, that could be something too. So guys, that's the list. I'm sticking to it. I love you guys. Peace.